What does it take to become the face of an entire genre? To dominate the screen for over 5 decades and rewrite the rules of what it means to be a cinematic legend? That's the John Wayne story. He wasn't just a cowboy, he was the blueprint. A towering figure who helped define American masculinity on film, fought studio executives for creative control, and left behind a legacy that still echoes through every Western ever made. But it didn't start with a bang. In fact, it started with a flop. Wayne's first leading role came in The Big Trail, 1930, an ambitious widescreen epic filmed in 70mm. It was visually stunning, but way ahead of its time. Theaters couldn't even project it properly. The result? A total box office bomb. Wayne's career was stalled before it really began, and he spent most of the 30s in forgettable B-movie westerns. Then came Stagecoach, 1939, directed by John Ford. This was Wayne's rebirth. Playing the Ringo Kid, he burst onto the screen with a presence that couldn't be ignored. The movie became a massive hit and launched Wayne into superstardom. Budgeted at $531,000, it made over $1 million and solidified Ford and Wayne's collaboration as gold. During World War II, Wayne famously stayed home while many stars enlisted. It was controversial, but in They Were Expendable, 1945, he portrayed a doomed PT boat commander with such grit and heartbreak, audiences began to forgive, and critics took him seriously for the first time. Despite being a critical darling, the film didn't make big money, earning just under $3 million on a $2 million budget. Red River, 1948, flipped the script on Wayne's usual persona. He played a hard, almost villainous cattle baron, locked in a power struggle with Montgomery Clift's idealistic cowboy. The clash was electric. Behind the scenes, Wayne reportedly clashed with Clift's new school method acting. It grossed $4.5 million on a $2.7 million budget and redefined Wayne as a serious, dramatic actor. Fort Apache, 1948, kicked off John Ford's Cavalry trilogy and saw Wayne deliver a surprisingly restrained performance opposite Henry Fonda. The film earned nearly $5 million at the box office, proving audiences were hungry for more complex westerns. She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, 1949, was all about legend building. Wayne played Captain Nathan Brittles, an aging officer giving one last ride. Despite being only 41 at the time, Wayne pulled off the role with such worn dignity, you'd think he had lived 3 lifetimes already. The film, budgeted at $1.6 million, made around $5 million, and is still praised for its stunning Technicolor visuals. That same year, Sands of Iwo Jima, 1949, earned Wayne his first Oscar nomination. As a tough Marine sergeant training young recruits, he gave one of his most grounded, emotionally raw performances. It was a box office smash, earning $10 million against a $1.5 million budget. Rio Grande, 1950, closed out the Cavalry trilogy and introduced one of the greatest duos in film history, John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. Their chemistry was electric, playful, and unfiltered. Shot on a tight budget of under $1 million, it earned over $2.5 million and launched a wave of romantic westerns. The Quiet Man, 1952, took that romance to Ireland. Wayne, as an American boxer returning to his ancestral homeland, brought a different kind of brawn, gentle, funny, and soulful. The film won the Oscar for Best Director and grossed over $3.8 million, proving Wayne's range extended well beyond the frontier. Then came the masterpiece, The Searchers, 1956. Wayne played Ethan Edwards, a deeply racist, broken man on a quest to rescue his niece. It's a disturbing, brilliant performance, arguably his best. Though not a huge box office hit at release, it gained legendary status over the decades and now ranks as one of the greatest films ever made. In 1960, Wayne went all in on The Alamo. He starred, produced, and directed the massive historical epic, mortgaging his own finances to make it happen. The budget ballooned to $12 million, and while it earned over $20 million globally, the costs nearly sank Wayne personally. It was his most personal gamble, and it almost broke him. The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, 1962, reunited him with John Ford and brought Jimmy Stewart into the mix. It was black and white, stripped down, and quietly devastating. Budgeted at $3.2 million, it earned a modest $8 million, but grew into a classic about myth-making and truth. McClintock, 1963, was Wayne Cutting Loose, a wild comedy western where mud fights and marriage battles stole the spotlight. He and Maureen O'Hara went toe-to-toe with fiery charm. It cost about $2 million and grossed $14 million, making it one of his most financially successful films of the decade. True Grit, 1969, gave Wayne his Oscar. As the one-eyed, drunken U.S. Marshal Rooster Cogburn, he was loud, crass, and impossible to ignore. It grossed over $31 million on a $7 million budget, cementing Wayne's late career resurgence. Chisholm, 1970, had Wayne portraying a real-life cattle baron during the Lincoln County War. Shot on a $4 million budget, it brought in around $7 million. Not a mega hit, but a solid showing that kept Wayne at the top of the box office. Rio Lobo, 1970, marked the final collaboration with director Howard Hawks. While the film was uneven, it was historically important. It grossed about $4.25 million, closing the curtain on a legendary partnership. Then came The Cowboys, 1972, a total curveball. Wayne's character dies, killed by outlaws. It shocked audiences and showed a rare vulnerability. It grossed $7.5 million and gave Wayne one of his most emotionally resonant roles. Cahill, U.S. Marshal, 1973, brought Wayne back to the lawman archetype, but with a twist. This time, he's a father torn between duty and family, chasing outlaws while trying to reconnect with his rebellious sons. It was a moderate box office success, earning just under $4 million. In Rooster Cogburn, 1975, Wayne reprised his Oscar-winning role opposite Katharine Hepburn. Their unlikely pairing gave the film a fresh dynamic. Grit meets grace. The film made $17 million, proving that audiences still loved the aging cowboy in action. Finally, The Shootist, 1976, Wayne's last film. He played a legendary gunslinger, dying of cancer. In real life, Wayne was battling cancer too. The parallels were undeniable. It was a quiet, powerful goodbye. No blaze of glory, just a man facing the end with dignity. The film made $13 million and became an instant classic. From B-movie obscurity to Oscar-winning legend, John Wayne didn't just ride through film history. He shaped it. He was a fighter, a showman, a myth in the making. And even in his final role, he knew exactly how to go out on his own terms. What's your favorite John Wayne performance? Drop it below and let us know who you want us to spotlight next.